Good evening, Milers. We're going to show a very healthy remedy, home remedy, if you will, for the cold and flu season. And trust me, some of these items you probably already know about, and sometimes we need to be reminded of healthy remedies that will keep us from getting sick and keep us healthy. So if you'd allow me to share, this is one of my tried and true remedies with some added ingredients that I have learned as I am here in Mexico. So we'll start off with this is just basically fresh ginger, and when you buy it, it's together. I just cut off a piece so because I'm doing this with one hand. And they call this a foot, actually. It almost looks like a hand by the time you have the piece with the appendages on the end. And I usually just store it in a plastic bag, and then I'll put it on the shelf or put it in a container and leave it. The piece that I use is pretty strong, so for me, I'm used to this, but I'm going to use about 6 to 8 cups of water. So we'll add, and I usually just brush this off, so it's been brushed, and we'll put that fresh ginger. It's already smelling really, really strong and really good. So this is 1 lime, and I like to roll it because that will keep some of the juices rolling and getting prepared for you. I don't know if I can do this with one hand with this knife. Might have to put the camera down for a second. But this is 1 lime, and I'm adding also some licorice that I bought at the market today. This is a remedy that you can use when you're feeling a little bit down, and I like to pinch off a couple of leaves and just, when you boil that in an Instant Pot under pressure, boy, you get that fresh herb in there. And then to that, we will also add a little bit of 2 sachets of lemongrass tea, and this is chamomile. So even though I'm using natural herbs, I always like to add a little bit of chamomile because it's so relaxing. Of course, when this wonderful tea is boiled, all you have to do is maybe add a little bit of honey, not a lot, because then that defeats the purpose of being healthy. If I can take the tags off. So that is lemongrass, chamomile, a little bit of licorice leaves. There's another herb that I want to get that has flowers on it. Really good and healthy. If you start feeling maybe something in your throat, or maybe sniffing, or allergies coming on, this remedy is so good. And as you can see on the water line, that's 6 cups of water. And I don't know, I might add 1 more cup. Like I say, sorry for the shakiness, but I am doing all of this with one hand. So this is clean, purified water, and I keep tubs of that, huge containers that I buy. So once I cut the lime and put that in, you can see what that looks like. So we will pause the camera for a second, and let's continue. I've had a chance to slice that lime. As a matter of fact, I might do 2 of them. We'll see. And add that to the pot. Remember, all of this will be under pressure. I like to squeeze the ends and then still add the ends in. Squeeze and add. Okay, so we will let this cook and steam under pressure, and then make some tea. And it smells wonderful when it's done. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll do manual. And it doesn't take 30 minutes to boil. You can actually boil this for 5 because it will be under pressure. It has to come to pressure first. So we will let the Instant Pot do its thing while I clean up a bit, and pause the camera and show you what it looks like afterwards, and we'll fix a nice cup of tea. Okay, now the moment we've been waiting for. As you can see, the Instant Pot says low 18. So we've been letting the contents of this wonderful herbal tea with a little bit of herbs and lime. And the main ingredient, in my opinion, is that wonderful ginger. So let's release any steam that is still remaining. As you can hear, even after 18 minutes under pressure, the steam is dissipating. That is a safety feature that I have come to really, really respect, enjoy, and appreciate, because that is how you keep from getting burned. So I love that. And sometimes I will try to turn, but I'll go ahead and unplug. Well, actually, if I leave it, I can keep it on low, because I tend to try to enjoy maybe 2 or 3 cups of this at a time. So we'll start with my first cup this evening. Go the other way. And since I am taping, I will refrain from turning on the overhead vent, because it's just added noise. So I don't know. This is a safety feature where it will not turn until all of that steam has been released. That's why I like to do what they call a natural release of steam when I do things like this. Okay, so now as I lift the lid, oh my, you can see it's still boiling. It is still boiling. And remember, originally we only put the pot for 5 minutes. All right. So I actually, once it started and I paused the video, I did cut up another lime. So this is the content of 2 limes. Look at that steam. 2 lemongrass tea sachets, 2 chamomile tea sachets. This is 1 piece of that wonderful ginger, and I will actually take one out and pop it in my cup, a waiting cup. And I probably want to take one of the limes, and I will let that float in the cup. Boy, this smells so good. I don't know if you can see the leaves, but that is one of the licorice leaves. I have to get that other herb, the one that has the flowers with it, because that smells good as well. So we will go ahead and dip another cup. Whew, that steam. And oh yeah, I did manage to get one of the herbs. Let's do another half cup. But that is rich, rich, rich. And I like to do more than, I still have about 6 cups remaining, because I like to sip on this for a couple of days. And this is local honey. And as you can see, I use a little bit every day. So this is my first time using honey today. I had a cup earlier with no honey, so I will pour just a little bit. You have to be careful with honey, because that is a sugar. It does count as sugar, and I have reduced my sugar intake. So I have a little bit of licorice floating in here, a little bit of freshly cut ginger from the actual ginger root. You should be able to find ginger in your fresh, in the produce section, where you find your fresh vegetables in your local store. I happened to buy mine at the market today, and let's see, boy, that smells so good. Boy, that ginger is fresh, and it is strong, so we'll pop this back in the pot, because it does not need any other ginger in there. The ginger is really strong, but again, that's that healing medicinal power of that ginger. So it's strong, but it's really good, and you can see the limes floating in there. So I felt just a little bit instead of taking aspirin or buying any kind of cold medicine, if you start this before you start really feeling down, and maybe and trust your body, because when you drink this, you start getting sleepy, that means go to bed. It's working. So thank you for watching. More videos later as I enjoy homemade remedy medicinal herbal tea, naturally made in the Instant Pot.